It was supposed to be the kingdom's most joyous day, the flower festival, when the fields and gardens overflowed with color and perfume. The citizens dressed in their finest garments, young and old, all eager to celebrate. It was also the day for a royal ball that evening, where everyone would dance beneath the light of the full moon until their hearts were light and their laughter echoed through the castle walls. Yet as the crowds gathered, a disquiet settled upon them. The air was still but carried no sweet scent. There was music, but no lilting tunes or merry jests, and even the brilliant blossoms seemed to hold their heads in shame. For what should have been a sea of vibrant colors, there were only pale imitations, devoid of life, devoid of fragrance. As the first notes of confusion and worry rippled through the assembly, Princess Aurora stepped forward. Her hair blazed like a bonfire, her eyes shone like sapphires, and she bore herself with a dignity that commanded respect. Yet it was not her title or lineage that gave her such presence, but a spirit that burned within her, a spirit that refused to let others suffer, not while she had the strength to help them. Her gaze swept across the crowd, searching, and finally settled on an old woman cloaked in somber gray, sitting apart from the others. With measured steps, the princess approached, her eyes filled with concern. Kneeling beside the woman, she asked, "Why are the gardens in full bloom yet carry no scent?" The old woman raised her head slowly, revealing a face etched with age and shadowed by grief. Her voice, when she spoke, was like the rustling of dry leaves. "The fragrance is gone, little princess, stolen in the night by a creature of darkness." A chill wind seemed to stir, carrying with it the scent of decay and despair. Aurora's heart pounded, not with fear, but with resolve. No creature of darkness would harm her people without consequence. She rose to her feet, her chin lifted in defiance. "Then we shall get it back," she declared. But the old woman shook her head, her eyes filled with sorrow. "You cannot hope to challenge the Night Witch, child. No one can." Aurora turned back to face the crowd, now buzzing with whispers of the Night Witch and the curse she had brought upon them. Fearful murmurs that threatened to engulf the entire kingdom in despair. If left unchecked, that despair would drain their strength and leave them defenseless against the witch's machinations. She knew what she had to do. With newfound purpose in her stride, she headed towards the castle. As she walked, she could hear the fearful whispers growing louder. "The Night Witch! The Night Witch!" they cried. Once inside the castle walls, Aurora found her parents, the king and queen, pacing anxiously in the throne room. They had heard the townsfolk's whispers and knew something was amiss. The sight of their daughter's determined face told them everything they needed to know. "Mother, father," Aurora began, her voice ringing with quiet authority, "I must go to the Night Witch. She has taken something precious from us and I will bring it back." Her parents' faces crumpled in worry, but before they could protest, Aurora was gone, disappearing through the heavy oak doors and out into the sprawling gardens. She didn't know exactly where the Night Witch lived, but she did know that the witch always cast her spells at the stroke of noon, when the sun hung high in the sky and shadows were at their shortest. So Aurora raced against time, leaping over hedges and wading through flower beds, desperate to reach the source of the curse before it took root in her people's hearts. As the clock tower chimed 12 times, Aurora burst into a clearing and gasped, Before her stood a gnarled, twisted tree, its branches clawed at the sky like the fingers of a dying man. And beneath it, stirring faintly, was a swirling vortex of shadows. From its depths, she could hear whispers, not of fear, but of forgotten laughter, of joy and contentment. The witch had stolen not just their fragrances, but their happiest memories. And then she saw it, clutched in the witch's bony hand, a small vial made of pure crystal, glowing with a soft inner light. The phial of scent and color. With a surge of determination, Aurora charged forward, her voice echoing with power. "Give it back, you vile creature. You have no right to steal our joy." The witch whirled around, her face a mask of hatred. Her eyes, twin points of malevolent fire, flashed with rage. "So the princess comes to play hero. How touching! But you are too late. Their fate is sealed." With a cackle of triumph, the witch raised the vial as if to drain its last drops. But Aurora was faster. She lunged forward, her hands outstretched, and knocked the vial from the witch's grasp. It tumbled through the air and landed at her feet. Quickly, she stooped to retrieve it, but the witch was upon her in an instant, her gnarled hands reaching for the princess's throat. Aurora rolled aside, narrowly escaping the witch's grasp. As the two struggled, the clearing became a battleground. Thorns shot out from the ground, tripping the witch and sending her sprawling. But the night witch was quick to her feet, her anger blazing like a sickened sun. With a flick of her wrist, she summoned shadows that swirled around Aurora, coiling like serpents ready to strike. But the princess, drawing strength from the love for her people, broke free and ran. She dodged and weaved, keeping just out of the witch's reach as she cast wild spells, turning tree roots to vipers, flowers to snarling beasts, even sunlight to searing lances. But Aurora pressed on, refusing to yield. Finally, she reached the edge of the clearing, the vial clutched tightly in her hand. She turned to face the witch, her eyes blazing with determination. "It's over," she cried, raising the vial high. "I won't let you hurt my people anymore." As the witch advanced, Aurora uncorked the vial. A blinding light erupted, banishing the shadows and revealing the true forms of the creatures the witch had created. The tree roots retracted, the flowers bloomed anew, and the beasts slunk away, whimpering. The witch screamed in rage and frustration, her spells broken, her plans thwarted. As the light faded, Aurora stood tall, the savior of her people. The curse was broken. The scent of roses and lilies, of honeysuckle and hyacinths, filled the air once more. And then, as if awakened from a dream, the people remembered. They laughed and danced, sang and played, their joy echoing through the kingdom, celebrating their princess and the return of their cherished festival. The king and queen, their faces etched with pride and gratitude, embraced their daughter, knowing that Aurora's spirit would forever be a beacon, guiding their kingdom towards the light. That night, under the glow of the full moon, the kingdom celebrated. The flower festival had returned, more vibrant, more fragrant than ever before, a testament to the courage of a princess who dared to defy the darkness and reclaim the light. And so it was, thanks to Aurora's bravery, that the legend of the flower festival was passed down through generations, a reminder that even in the darkest of nights, hope and courage can bloom. Thank you, little friends, For following the story, please like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss Tiny Tales World's wonderful fairy tales.